And one of Mary's colleagues wrote, Mary puts her heart into her work in the classroom and out of the classroom. She puts students' needs in front of her own priorities, and even during the most challenging circumstances, she is positive, professional, and empathetic to all involved. It's an honor to recommend her for this award. It's an honor for Puget Sound Energy to support great educators like this. Please, for Mary Melee and Dr. Enderberg.
Congratulations again to Angela and Mary. And thank you once again to Puget Sound Energy for their generous support of our Faculty Excellence Awards. Through its long-term support of these honors, Puget Sound Energy has encouraged inquiry and innovation in the journey toward knowledge and understanding at Whatcom Community College. Andy Wappler has demonstrated a commitment to these same values throughout his career, first as chief meteorologist at Cairo TV, yes, that's the same guy, and now as head of Puget Sound Energy's corporate affairs. Andy leads the company communications, community affairs, energy efficiency, and products and services team. He is also the chairman and president of the Puget Sound Energy Foundation. Andy has a Master of Science degree in journalism from the Medill School of Northwestern University and a Bachelor of Arts degree honors in English from the University of Washington. We are honored to welcome tonight as our guest speaker.
Welcome back to the Well, great to be here tonight. And I got to tell you, I went to college 4 times, got through it 3. So that's a 750 batting average. I was feeling very good about that. And I happened to see, as I was waiting and as you're all coming in, there was a young lady sitting near me who was wearing on her mortarboard, it said My Adventure Book, correct? Could you stand up for a minute just so people can see My Adventure Book? Okay, so that's on her mortarboard. And now, there you go, you can sit, now that you've been embarrassed. I thought, hey, that's a great title. It's a better title that I was going to talk about, which was Infrastructure Advances in Renewable Energy and Technology. Yeah, so that wasn't so good, and I thought this needed to be kind of fun, but I thought My Adventure Book, and I want to spend thanks for the title, by the way, awesome. I wanted to talk a little bit about what for me has been My Adventure Book, and kind of, I think, related to what you've done here. Before we do, though, we owe a huge thank you to the moms, dads, uncles, aunts, grandparents, big brothers, big sisters who have helped you get through, who may have paid the bills, been a shoulder to cry on, everything else. Let's give them a nice hand. All right? Okay, here's the bad news. It's not over. This is just the beginning. And that's what's really exciting about it and where the My Adventure Book comes in. For me, I went first as a student off to become an English major. I loved to write and everything. English was great. Loved being an English major. Found out there wasn't a lot of money in poetry. So that wasn't working so well. Went from there to go to law school. I thought, well, I'll do that. I like to talk, all these things. I found out that there's a lot of research and library time in that law deal. Stayed about 2 quarters and left. And my mom said to me, you know, have you ever thought about going into television? And I'm like, why would I want to do that? That's what my dad does. If my parents do it, it must be boring. And I had grown up as a kid going down and watching my dad doing the news. He was on Cairo from the 60s all the way through about 2002. Well, thank you. Thank you. But, you know, you go and you watch with your parents, you're boring. I hate to tell you that. You go and I'm a parent, I'm boring to my kids and to many other people. But as a parent, you're boring. So it didn't even occur to me to do that. Then I go back to journalism school. That was great. I worked in TV for a while, left TV for a while, went back into it, ended up back into it thinking, hey, I should do the weather. I had no training in doing the weather. That was then, I guess, the fourth time I went back to college, was to go and do distance learning to get my meteorology certificate. And that was distance learning through Mississippi State University, at which part of the time you actually have to go there. It's in Starkville, Mississippi. Yeah, it's in Starkville, Mississippi. You go for a couple weeks at a time. Really, you can't take all of Starkville in just a few weeks. It takes more time than that to really see the whole thing. And my point in this is, you'll do this again in some form or fashion. For many of you, you already have. For many of you, maybe this is your second lap back through academia. You came back for the funny hats. No, you came back because the world is changing rapidly, and you need skills. And I see the Alps hat. You're standing out here with the Alps hat. It's I don't know, it's a nonconformist. He's a rebel. He might yodel at any time. But you're going to be doing this many times in your life, and that's what's so great about it. For me, the education I received in broadcasting was fantastic, but boy, did that business change in the time I was there. I started in 1994. By 1995, we were hearing about this thing, you may know of it, called the Internet, or the World Wide Web, as we called it. And you had to tell people that before you logged in that address, you need to put www. There was a time when people didn't know that, really. What we first thought in that business of broadcasting was that the Internet would be where people go to look up what time things are on TV. Didn't quite work out that way, did it? Not a bit. So there's a business that I was in that changed dramatically. It changed even during the time I was there. At first, when I started, when you had to make all those weather graphics, those things you point at on maps, and true confession, I have a green wall at home in my garage. I still occasionally point at maps as a hobby. It's true. But when we made those weather graphics, we wrote them down on a piece of paper and handed them to someone else to make the graphics, because computers were very specialized and only a few people used them in their daily work. Now they're in your pockets and you're wishing you could use them in text or post a selfie. It's a very, very different world. And even in the time I was there, I found out, I needed to get smart about computers. I didn't know what they were. And if you are above a certain age in this audience, you may remember the phrase, oh, I'm not a computer person. Anybody remember saying that phrase? I did. I'll write it down on paper and give it to someone else person. Try that in today's world. See how far that gets you. So tremendous change there. And now my guess is for many of you, you'll never have a television. You'll watch whatever you're going to watch, download it onto a phone or a tablet, and the idea of a TV and everything else, not going to happen in your life. So tremendous change in something I grew up around. Then I flash forward to being at PSE. I started there 6 years ago. When I started at PSE 6 years ago, one of the biggest things that I would do is go out and talk to groups about renewable energy and talk to them about energy efficiency. And I would say to them, hey, have you tried those new funny CFL light bulbs, the curly ones? And 6 years ago, maybe a third of the room would go, yeah. Today, well, that's kind of all people buy, or they've moved on and they just have an LED. Very, very different in just a few years. 6 years ago when I started at PSE, it was because we were building wind farms, and my job was to work on getting the wind farms built. Well, that was when wind was really big and new, 6 years ago. Now it's kind of interesting, but actually we've gotten pretty used to it. And it's become pretty humdrum in just 6 years. An incredible pace of change in the world. That's why what you have done being here is so smart and so worthwhile, and why you'll probably have to do it again. The skills you're going to need are going to change so fast, no matter what you do. No matter what you go into, it will change. And as I was looking through the program, seeing all the different degree programs, all the different fields you are in, what do you think the percentage of people who are going to be in that field 10 years from now is? The field you leave here with today. It's probably not going to be that high, but that won't matter, because the skills that you have learned, the skills that you've learned in terms of using your time, how to learn new technologies, how to learn new things, how to ask tough questions, how to work together, all that critical thinking, all that you do, It doesn't really matter if your degree is in this or that, because that will work for you in anything that you choose to go do in the future. And that's smart, because I never would have guessed when I was leaving college in 1986, which now feels like a frightening long time ago, because a considerable portion of this room was not born at that time. Hey, it'll happen to you too. I never would have guessed that so many of the things that are commonplace in my life today, and I count on either at work or as a consumer, would have been there. So you have done absolutely the right thing the last couple of years. You've gotten a great education, you've met great people, great faculty, great staff who've inspired you, but chances are you'll have a career like mine, where it's your adventure book, and it starts in one place, and things happen and take you to another and another. Who knows? It was mentioned a few times here that you got to the school on different roads. You will take as many different roads upon leaving as you did before getting here, and that's fantastic. The good news is you're prepared, because now you have education, a base, skills to build on. So no matter what happens, and all kinds of cool things are going to happen that we don't expect, you'll be ready. So yeah, bad news is you're going to be back doing this again in some form, some way. The good news is you've learned how to do it. You've come to an outstanding institution, had great skills, great impact on your life. So yeah, get ready for your adventure book. Whatever it will be, I'm sure it will be fantastic, because you have done the right things in the last couple of years with this school, with your great families that have supported you, to put you in an amazing position. So whatever the future takes you, you'll be ready for it. You're looking really serious for a happy night, I gotta tell you. You got that face that says, dude, wrap it up, we want to graduate. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy, for your inspiring comments and for honoring our graduates with your wisdom and your humor. That was a great speech, wasn't it? I saw you all. Thank you. Good evening. I'm Trish Onion, the Vice President for Educational Services, and I'm honored to be part of tonight's ceremony. To help us celebrate, I am proud to introduce the Whatcom Collegiate Choir, directed by Carol Reed Jones. The choir will be performing Nella Fantasia. Thank you, Carol, and the Whatcom Community College choir members for your beautiful performance. It is indeed my privilege to introduce our student speaker this evening. David Aguilar is a decorated combat veteran who served 3 tours of duty in Iraq as a member of the United States Marine Corps Infantry. A first-generation college student, David is graduating with his Associates of Arts and Sciences degree, and he has been accepted to Western Washington University. David is extremely passionate about learning and about helping other students, especially other veterans. He has a VA work-study position in our Veterans Office here at Whatcom Community College, where each day he demonstrates compassion and selfless service to students who, like David, are pursuing their goals of a full and successful life through education. So please join me in welcoming David Aguilar to the podium.
Wow, it's amazing. I just want to say thank you, Trish. Thank you very much. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. To those who've donned the cap and gown, our 2014 graduates. It is an honor and a privilege to be speaking to you this evening. It is important we recognize and thank all those who've supported us on our achievements today. To all those who supported us throughout our time here at Whatcom and throughout our lives, let us give a round of applause to these wonderful people. Remember the paths that got us here today. When I graduated high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, so I decided to join the Marine Corps. Hoorah! I had some good times, I had some bad times, but because of the people I met in the Corps, I was able to complete 3 deployments to Iraq. When I got out of the service, I worked for a glass company and quickly moved up the ranks thanks to the work ethics of my parents and my prior military service. After working at the glass company for 5 years, I finally decided to go to college to make more of my life. You know, live the college dream. As a friend told me when I was trying to make the decision to go to college, it is a greater failure to not have tried than to have tried and failed. Well, fellow graduates, we've tried and we've succeeded. Remember the people who've helped us here today. I would like to take the opportunity to thank my parents who have supported me in my dreams to help me along the way. And also thank my friends and family who have done the same. Part of my motivation to attend Whatcom Community College was to serve as a role model for my younger siblings, and I hope they will remember that with hard work, they too can succeed. As Memorial Day passes and we get closer to Independence Day, some special people come to mind. My fellow veterans and veterans who did not come home. I will remember the people who have served this country and have made the ultimate sacrifice in order for us to be here today. I will remember all the mistakes I've made in life in hopes that I will not make the same mistakes again, hopefully. I will remember the people who've worked here on campus, who've helped all of us get through college. Like those wonderful people in registration, advising, business office, student life, the library, the veterans office, and all of my instructors, thank you. Remember Remember the people who've endured our toils and tears and provided us their time and trust. They put us before themselves so that we could have a brighter future. Remember that we can achieve even when we ourselves don't believe. Remember that we are responsible for giving back to our community so that others may follow an opportunity to succeed. Thanks to Whatcom, I've been accepted to Western Washington University, where I will earn my accounting degree and work towards my CPA. I will be able to support myself, my family, and give back to our community. Lastly, remember what each and every one of us has done to reach our dreams today. Remember those who helped us along the way and apply those things to everything you do in life. You can't go wrong if you just remember. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. At this time, I would like to call upon Dr. Ron Leatherbarrow to present the 2013-2014 graduates.
Will the members of the graduating class of 2014 please stand? Chairwoman Cole and members of the Board of Trustees, based upon the recommendation of the faculty of Whatcom Community College, it is my privilege to present the class of 2014 for the conferral of degrees, certificates, and diplomas.
By the power vested in the Whatcom Community College Board of Trustees by the Governor of the State of Washington, the appropriate degrees, certificates, and diplomas are hereby conferred.
Will the first row come forward, and will the remaining graduates please be seated until you're called?
Associate in Liberal Studies, high school diploma with honors, Phi Theta Kappa.
John M. Din, Associate in Arts and Sciences.
I enjoyed watching.
Kelsey A. Walsack, Associate in Arts and Sciences.
Bridget N. Ray, Associate in Arts and Sciences.
Stacy B. Esquivel, Associate in Arts and Sciences.
Elma R. Ventura, Associate in Science, Business Administration, Accounting.
Victoria M. Inge, Associate in Arts and Sciences.
Caitlin J. Dodd, Associate in Arts, Early Childhood Education.
Kamalji K. Brar, Associate in Arts, Early Childhood Education.
Arti Joshi, Associate in Arts and Sciences.
Kayla M. Lowry, Certificate Medical Billing and Coding.
Shauna M. Burbank, Associate in Arts and Sciences.
Anthony J. Illian, Associate in Science Medical Assisting, Associate of Arts, and a Communication Transfer degree.
Stephanie M. O'Connor, Associate in Science Medical Assisting with honors.
Lisa J. Booth, Certificate Medical Assisting.
Sandra D. Beamold, Certificate Medical Assisting, Phi Theta Kappa.
Nidia Rosales Muriel, Certificate Medical Assisting, Phi Theta Kappa.
Kiani S. Reland, Certificate Medical Assisting.
Shannon Harkness, Associate in Science Medical Assisting with honors.
Lishan Liu, Associate in Science Medical Assisting with honors, Phi Theta Kappa.
Heidi G. Ehlers, Certificate Medical Assisting.
Sophie Nichols, Associate in Science Medical Assisting.
Luba A. Andrzejczuk, Certificate Medical Assisting.
Cornelia E. Hay, Certificate Medical Assisting.
D. A. Kentner, Associate in Science Medical Assisting.
Stephen M. Hawkins, Associate in Science, Business Administration, Accounting.
Tristan A. Mickelson, Associate in Arts and Sciences, High School Diploma.
Samantha J. Stevenson, Associate in Arts and Science and High School Diploma with honors, Phi Theta Kappa.
Mark A. Stevenson, Associate in Arts and Sciences, High School Diploma.
Gail Marie Isaac, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding, Phi Theta Kappa.
Stephen T. Henderson, Associate in Arts and Sciences and High School Diploma.
Brian J. Rowe, Associate in Science Transfer, Biology, and Associate in Arts and Sciences.
Barbara K. Colby, Associate in Arts and Sciences with honors, Phi Theta Kappa.
Elizabeth J. Ackerman, Associate in Arts and Sciences.
Kate R. Seaholm, Associate in Arts and Sciences with honors, Phi Theta Kappa.
Jordan S. Corbin, Associate in Arts and Sciences.
Jennifer K. Chapman, Associate in Arts and Sciences. Way to go.
Brianna A. Lopez, Associate in Arts and Sciences and High School Diploma.
Karina O. Lopez, Associate in Arts and Sciences, High School Diploma.
Amy L. Cade, Associate in Arts, Early Childhood Education.
Amanda J. Willett, Associate in Arts and Sciences.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Faith L. Foster, Associate in Arts and Sciences with honors, Phi Theta Kappa.
Bronwyn M. Miller, Associate in Arts and Sciences.